Morning, folks. See if I can do this right. It's 4:37 a.m. Sunday, November 12th, 2017. I didn't come here this last life to make you happy, but I came here to help you understand who you are, what's happening in the world you're aware of that's around you, which will make you happier. It'll take away most of your pain. Some people say that I'm not all that happy a person because I talk about problems that exist. Well, they've been existing since the beginning of time. As we consider time, I mean, time is a constant that's always been there as long as there's been anything. But as long as we've been having lives, that's what we consider time. I didn't come here to tell you what the truth is. Although I have written books about what's real, I came here in that respect to help you find what the truth is for yourself. You cannot understand the big picture until you understand all the parts of it. There's not that many parts, but it starts with you. You have to understand yourself first. Then you can finally understand what's really going on, who you really are. Excuse me. Who you are when you're in a body, and who you are as your true self. The truth is that you are spirit, sentient energy, part of the original first being that separated itself into two pieces for company, which was the beginning, the creation of that basic institution of male and female, if it is an institution. It's a way of being, a thought process. And that's only with the first new being. With the other four new beings, the first being is what we came from. It's the creation. It built the creation that we're aware of. There's four new first beings getting ready to come out. They don't have to separate the male and female to be comfortable. You know, they won't be hit with that. There's other things that are going to happen, though. Any of you that are concerned with that, try not to be. Again, that just takes more understanding. There are so many. This is the third dimension that we live in. There's so many new dimensions that are being put together. We have 1,672 new universes inside this dimension. I came here to help you understand who you are and what's going on. I've written what has been happening, where you came from, in books. Just a few of them. I'm not a writer. I'm an author because I've written, but I'm not a writer. As soon as you read my work, you'll understand. I've rewritten the first book already to make it easier to read. Creation is beginning in your origin. Where did the first being come from? What came first, chicken or the egg? What's a soul? I mean, how did it all start? Where does this thing called God come from? Why is it called God? Who started that? The different types of energy beings. There's so much stuff on the internet today. It's silliness. Okay. It's sad. At the same time, there's so many people reaching out, trying to find the truth. I find that nothing less than admirable. This has been a struggle to find ourselves and understand who we are, where we are, and what's happening. because it's been kept from you but by the original being that released you, that made itself male and female, then later on released parts of itself to create you, the beings. The material that exists everywhere, the third dimension, that was made by the original first being, male, with a little help from the female. She has other jobs, but he has the frequencies within him, or had the frequencies within him. They're both gone, but he had the frequencies within him to actually take heavy particulate matter and then take each piece and turn it into something else, transmutation. So I came here to help you find yourselves. I came here to clean a mess that I didn't make, but it's my job to clean up. That's why I am your janitor. Sometimes people get so excited and so upset trying to make something of something else or someone else that they'll never find the truth for themselves. They're too busy trying to create one of themselves to pacify their feelings of self. But that's one trap you might want to stay away from. That's why I say you have to have your own truth. That's also why I don't allow comments on my videos. There are children out there that have nothing to do but scream and cry and complain all day long. Okay? People, meaning physical bodies, with the two people inside, the two spirit beings, the one that originally came from Gaia on this planet, from another planetary essence on other planets. Yes, they are all real. And that's in there with you, another piece of spirit that's in a body. In a car that neither of you and or both of you do not have control of. These bodies are easily controlled. I've explained that in all these consults that I've done. I've worked on thousands of people. I don't know how many consults I've given. I don't know if it's 100, 200, 300. I have no idea. All I know all that matters to me is that I've done everything I can for as many people as I can individually. But I've done the main part of my job as far as cleaning up a mess that I didn't start. And it was done by the original first being. So many people have asked in consults, where do I get my understanding? Where do I get this information? This one lady was so nice, and she's not the first one to say it. She was the first one. She wasn't the only one to say it. She said, where do you get this knowledge? If you'll tell me the books, I'm going to go out and buy all of them. When you tell me stuff, it just fits. It just fits. It fits because it simply is, and then you're able to understand it. If Grandma has a recipe for a kick-butt cherry pie, and she can make one, and she gives you the recipe, and you don't understand the recipe, and you can't make one, it's a lack of understanding. Could be a lack of love goes in it too. If you don't care to understand something, or if you make up your mind before you try that it's incorrect, then all you're going to do is frustrate yourself, especially as your subconscious starts to realize that what you're trying to disprove is actually correct. I can't fix that. I don't have a philosophy. I have an understanding. I sure as hell don't have religion. Every religion is false. Anything that tells you to praise something else is wrong. If something was worth praise, it not only wouldn't want it, it would do everything it could to make sure it didn't happen. It would do everything it could to stop it, not increase it, not want more of it. I have given, excuse me, I have given a lot of consults over the years. It's like nonstop for years. And a lot of people ask me a lot of questions that are similar, and when that happens, a very simple understanding tells me that's something I need to do a video about. We are much more than what we see in a mirror. What you see in a mirror isn't you. Only part of it is you. But the body that you're in for that life at that moment, along with that part of the essence that came from the planet a long time ago, was broken off and is its own unique individual now. The two of you in a vehicle driving it. So when you see that body, you're in there, and it becomes a part of you for a short time, but it's also part of someone else. We have some awesome psychiatrists, but how can they help you as much as they probably want to until they understand the fact that there's someone else in there with you? How can you make decisions? That's funny. So a female just popped me right in the eye. She's just talking to me, though. She's trying to get my attention. Hit a nerve in my eye. She didn't want me to go there right now. Yeah, and I work with spirit. So I was saying, all of you are so much more than could ever come close to fitting in a body. Some of you gurus have said, oh, I can teach you how to extend out of your body, how to increase your aura 15, maybe even 50 feet. Folks, none of you can even fit in this state. Some of you can't fit in the U.S., and that's while a part of you is crammed into the body. When you come out of the body, you're huge. So, most of you that are bigger than a planet, that are bigger than the country, the U.S., are bigger than a planet when you're out of body. And that's the strong part of you. So, anyway. So that's why I was here. And that's what I'm doing until the body finally drops and I get out of here. I've taken care of what I need to while here, and I'm not going to stop until the body does. Then I really go to work. What I speak of is not this body, but who I really am inside. I don't have the dual core Kundalini, the dual spirit core, the Kundalini in me anymore. I do have the same energy flow. You have to have it, or the body just drops. But I don't have the spirit of the planet with me anymore. Moved it a long time ago. Because of what I was made to be in the beginning, I can do what other people can't. Some of them don't like it. Hey, I'm not here to make you angry either, but I am here to tell you the truth, and you understand what you want. If you want to understand that I'm some kind of arrogant thing or something, fine. But to me, it's a simple thing. It makes as much sense as a Volkswagen going up to a bulldozer and saying, you can't move that rock. And then the bulldozer looks at the Volkswagen and says, whatever. Because I have nothing to prove, because I'm only here to help you, and I only offer things. I don't tell people how to live their lives. Excuse me. I don't tell anyone what they can't do, but I do tell them they're not allowed to. It's coming where they're not going to be allowed to hurt people, or when I say people, I'm talking about plants, animals, human beings. Abuse is being taken out of creation while in body. I've gotten in people's faces ready to get down about protecting people, animals. That expression in your face has been inside me ever since I was made. I was not a big fighter this life. I'm a thing of heart. But I do what I need to do because I know what's right. Someone says that's not right for me or something, well, that's fine, good. I offer you a silver platter of understanding. Ways for you to understand things for yourself. I can't make you understand. I can offer you information and help you consume it. But it doesn't need much help consuming. Once you see something for what it is, there it is. Yesterday, I had a real hard evening. The last half of my day, and into the evening, my heart started acting up again. I have to be here till April or May. But I can't tell you I'm going to be here longer or shorter. And there's part of me that's stuck in this body. It's not controlling that. It's part of me outside of the body that is. I am from the very beginning. I was there when you all came out. A lot of people say, Jay, I swear I know you from somewhere. And I say, what do you do? Past lives. So, the average person that's had a lot of lives on this planet, a lot of lives, is 68, 82, 84. This is exactly my 220th life on this planet. I'm sorry, 220,000th life on this planet. 220,000. My last one, I was in the body of Gandhi. Anyway, I was made in the very beginning to serve and protect. So when I'm in a body struggling like everyone else, I can do more because of my power level. I understand more from all my lives. And I offer you the information. And through these consults, the energy, the quote-unquote free work I've done in these energy consults, I've made a lot of you stronger. So you can, well, it used to be to help you power up, get stronger, 10% of the source energy, not spirit energy, that I put in you. Remember, spirit is sentient energy. 10% of that energy would stay with you. Now I'm doing these, all I'm doing is the DNA ICUC. What that stands for, DNA stands for DNA, ICUC is intensive crank-up consultation. That's intense. 20% of what I put in you literally bonds with you. It could be pulled out if you didn't want it once you're out of body or even in body. No one's ever asked for that, ever. But it also does literally change your DNA. This is being proven as we speak. I can tell you that I bake the best apple pie there is, and you can consider that fact or not. That's okay. I understand things for myself. Okay. Now, being locked in this body, and we're also people. One thing people have asked me is, how come I don't know my past lives? How come I know all this? I mean, you're used to being a physical body that'll take a book, okay, takes the information out of it. It may be a math book, a mathematical processes, and learn something. People, your spirit, sentient energy. Most of you have had hundreds of millions and even trillions of lives. There were 5 waves of souls released, boom. Then wait a while, boom, another one. Wait a while, and that while was a long time. Okay? And then before that, there was a huge planet named Gaia. There's parts of her here. She's the original planet to have any life on her. She had all Essence had lives on it. Lily and Arae, had the first lives on it, first 100 million. And then the next couple 100 million, after that, animal essence was having lives in their bodies. This book explains when everything came in, everything that you're ever going to want to know about how did it start, okay? And then this is how it started, okay? And then book number 2, it's the purple one. This one behind me, right over here, Creation, its journey evolving into paradise. That's about the source war fighting, how it got to the point where there became a fight, what the original first being, what people are still calling God because they don't understand, how it was doing, controlling everything. I know it's not time for me to leave yet. And although my body's dying, that's fine. I'm anxious to get out of here. There's no reason to fear death. You know, you should fear death as much as you fear walking up to your front door and putting a key in it and unlocking it and walking in. That's all it is, going home. It's sad that so many older people are afraid to die. And I've explained all this in videos. I put everything I can in the books. I've got over 500 videos at this point. I had 500 videos before that in my previous channel when I got into it with Google. And I'm talking, YouTube channels. So, this DNA ICUC that I'm doing now, it literally reformats your DNA. Okay, so you'll find out about that real soon. There's scientists and geneticists well known. These scientists are extremely well known. Their equipment is ridiculous. Countries have come up to them asking them for help, to do major genetic work and stuff like that, or to learn things about things that have to be broken down into with genetics. So this spiritual foundation that I started, thespiritualfoundation.com, Deanna owns the business. It's the Spiritual Foundation. I'm sick. I'm going. I've been waiting to get out of this body since October 28th of 2015. I've been really sick since September 1st of 2015. This video is about something that's very important to many people, and that's why I'm putting it out. But this is the preface to it, because I am sick, because I am going. I want to make a full statement about myself in one of them before I go. And it's what I am inside is locked into this body. I'm a lot. There's no way I could ever fit in a body of any sort. All the lives I've had, and how I was made, what I was made to be in the beginning, protector. They made me real strong. Then I got too abusive, and they found out they might have made a mistake. Anyway, the original first being, male and female, I'm talking about. Also, this spiritual foundation. I needed to create a foundation for y'all to stand on as far as spirit or spiritually. Spirit is not a religion. Spirit is sentient energy. The Holy Spirit and all this stuff, folks, that's a bunch of crap made up to profess the reality, the need for these religions that tell you that you have to worship some kind of god or gods, and why you should, and you're demanding payment, all kinds of stupid stuff. Nah. It's like I said before, if there was something that cool, it not only wouldn't want it, it wouldn't allow you to do it. It would tell you that there is equality. Well, the spiritual foundation provides that. A strong basic platform of information. And plus, I've gotten into a lot of people who also were source that didn't have the extent of my power level, and cranked the hell out of them. And now they're able to do this too. There's a lot of important people that is source that are here that are going to be helping you. A lot of them aren't awake. Some of them are children. Deanna came from the energy mating of Lily, Tiger Lily. She's the second focal point of, well, from Lily and Arae, but it was mostly Tiger Lily, the second focal point, and mostly myself. I've been around a long time, and other parts of me have been released to have lives. Deanna has she owns the spiritual foundation. She has a job to do, setting things up for, well, it's for everyone, but she has a niece and nephew. The niece, she's also, her spirit came from the combination of Lily and Arae. Of course, it's almost all Lily, but there's Arae in there too. And then her nephew is Arae, a piece of Arae, the third focal point. He's really strong. And their dad, really cool guy. He's my brother. I love him. He's going to be taking care of it. Deanna has other work to do elsewhere. She's leaving, and I'm not talking about leaving the country, and I'm not talking about the body dying and she's going home. She's taking off very soon. She has another job with all these new kids that are being produced by the mostly by Sereni and Melly, Sepoian and Serpatient beings. They take the male and female reproductive situation, eggs and sperm create embryos, and they make sure that their health is perfect. Then they're going to be out in space, flying around doing stuff, and Deanna's going to be out there with them on a Drox ship. So it's not for a few years, but that's what's going to happen. And then Raj, who you haven't met yet, and Shivan. Raj is the fifth focal point of Arae. He came literally from me. He's very strong. Awesome fracking heart, man. He's awesome. Shivan, she's the fifth focal point of, of Lily. She's like Raj, just really powerful heart energy. But they're both source, very, very strong source. Lily's had over 8 trillion lives. And I've had just over 10.846 trillion lives. And they're staying here as representatives of Arae and Lily. And the three of them, Deanna's already done it. And then I was going to say Lily and Arae, Siobhan and Raj are going to be doing the DNA ICUCs. That is going to expand, but that's how I'm going to be leaving it while I get out of here and go back home where I belong and do what I need to do. Now, getting away from that, now let's talk about the subject matter. Sorry, my heart, every once in a while I go to take a breath and it jerks on and off. Sensitive to light too. I'm going to fix the lighting just a minute. Okay, we're back. So I had to dim the lighting a little bit. Like I said, yesterday was really hard on me. My heart really hurt, and after I go through one of those experiences, this wasn't, for 5 minutes. This was for, I don't know, 8 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. I don't know. I can't see, and I don't really care. It lasted on and off for about 8 hours. So it's just easier on me for some reason. Anyway, sometimes my face, you can see a little red in it. Incandescent light does that, but beyond that, my blood pressure is crazy. My doctor is so cool, but he understands me. And darn it, there we go again. Anyway, he understands me, and he gets annoyed because he's a doctor. His job is to save lives. If nothing else, let this be a disclaimer for him. I don't take my blood pressure medicine like he wants me to. When I do that, what's inside me fights me. It'll start bringing up anger and everything else. The blood pressure needs to stay a little bit high. I have a severe cirrhosis of the liver, and my stomach, my whole body is turning into a water balloon. My stomach is all swelled out like I'm 9 months pregnant with an alien baby. The thing from Aliens, yuck yuck. Anyway, that also puts pressure on my heart, and my heart's been softened now. It's enlarged heart, so that, and in my head, I'm just going to get shut down hard when it's time to go, so it'll be easy. And I told Deanna before she took off to go on a little vacation to the beach that she sorely needs. She works so hard. She's so wrapped up in work, and she is so bent on doing everything completely right with as much honor as possible. And just like the rest of us, she's stuck in a human body she's been messed with all her life. She needs to have breaks, and more of them. And we care a lot about each other, big time. Deanna means so much to me, I can't tell you. But she's going to watch me die, and I know she cares about me too a lot. Okay? She has to watch me die. When you care about someone and you're working your ass off 24/7, living and working in the same place 24/7, 7 days a week, that's hell. She couldn't do that if she wasn't who she is. Blah. People say I shouldn't drink coffee. Cheers, mate, or as we say more here in the house because of Deanna's Spanish, being born in Spain. Salud. I also drink a little wine, sometimes even liquor or beer. I'm not drinking all the time. It's just every once in a while. I refuse to take pain pills. I have degenerative joint disease. It's got 7 or 8 diseases. Kind of funny, actually. My joints are falling apart. So anyway, so a little alcohol every once in a while is relaxing. It also doesn't hurt for my heart to have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. So that and the blood pressure through the roof and all this other stuff. It's just for me to get out of here. People say with my cirrhosis being so bad I shouldn't drink. I've been on incredibly powerful drug medicine for my lungs because I have COPD and CLLI, chronic lower lung infections. It's number 3 and 4 cause of death on this planet, respectively. Or it was about a year ago or something this year, when I saw it. So I've had to take really strong meds, so it's messed me up. Okay, that's enough about me. I don't like to talk about myself, but I do want you to know a few things about me, how much all of you mean to me. And I want you to know that there's something that cares, especially when you find out for yourselves through your own understanding that I'm helping you with, not by telling you what is. That's important for me to offer the information. I'm not telling you have to go buy a book. I never said that, and I never will. I have to offer the information. You don't have to read it. So that when you want it, if you do, there it is. They've all my stuff, all my publishing, it's all been offered to libraries. If they ever want it, there it is. Don't expect it to. It's not a top seller yet. This is just coming out. Once this body's gone and I'm gone, things are going to move forward a lot faster for a few different reasons. We don't need to go there. This is not about me. It is about my job. And my job is helping all of you to become yourselves. And that's why there's so many people here now that I've cranked up that are cranking up other people. Excuse me. Once this comes out, once the scientists have figured, going through their rigorous routines of proving that this DNA I see, you see, that I've actually changed your DNA, that's never been done anywhere by a person, anywhere on any planet in all history of creation. Never. Now there's other people that can do it. When I go, it'll be proven to be fact. Scientists will put it out in their scientific journals and stuff, and then there'll be other people here doing it, and I'm gone. None of this has been about me. It's being done specifically so it has a minimal effect on any one person. It's not. There's no new, Messiah. There's no new God. Some people have actually been so stuck on themselves, so having immense feelings of insufficiency, that they needed to say that about me. There's only a couple, only a few. It's, anybody that's known me for any length of time, they finally figure out, even when they at first don't like me, they finally figure out what the hell I'm about. I don't mean nothing. I don't matter. But my job matters. What matters is about me is that I do my job. I'm your older brother. That's what I am. Your oldest brother. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do, but you can't stop me. Mom and Dad had issues. They're gone, and I'm doing what I can to take care of the family. And there's lilies out there, too. You'll find all this stuff out for yourself in time, and that's all that matters. Look at what I can do. Look what I've already proved. And wait till you see what I do prove about what I've done. And you're not going to find a bunch of this crap anywhere, but these other people that can do it, some of my family members, they'll get notoriety. And then it's going to be more people here doing it. And then it grows more. So what are you left with? You're left with a change, an evolution in the third dimension. Why? Because the second dimension, the original first being male and female, the ones that run everything, because they're gone. Creation is taking a 90-degree turn. The format is doing a 180. It's going from abuse to one of compassion and honor and equality. Excuse me. Okay, trying to get away from that. Let's get back into the subject matter. What do you like out of a body? How come you don't know what that's like? And who are you out of a body and who are you in a body? That's a big topic. Who you really are, you, is free-form spirit, sentient energy. Okay? You're awesome. You're incredibly intelligent. I mean, you don't know how awesome you are. If you could see yourself, it would blow your mind. Excuse me. It would blow your mind. Why can't you see yourself? I can't see everything about myself either. Okay, so we all have many things in common, but almost everything in common. We're all a little different, so what? You can do things better than me, I can do things better than you while we're in a body, but that doesn't make either of us any better than each other. Better fits in one place. Performing a task, or more importantly, improving yourself. Everything is changing to what it should have been in the beginning. And I was there with my better half, Lily. Anyway, I don't mean to dwell on that. It's just as you grow older, meaning as you have more lives, you understand more and more. That's why we go into a body. That's another thing. Why do we go into a body anyway? We go in a body because when spirit, sentient energy, goes into a physical body and goes through strife, it gets stronger. When it understands more about how things work together, what's out there, what's happening, you gain intelligence. You also develop your love, compassion, and hopefully your honor. Honor comes from the frequencies of fortitude and love and compassion. There are beings that have mostly lower frequencies with very little heart energy and all. Not their fault. Not their fault. They were made that way from the original first being, and they deserve protection as much as everything else. That being said, anything that goes after anything else and starts abusing it is going to be made to stop. If it continues, it will be deleted. As I tell you all this, I know I'll be gone soon, and I know things are going to be fine. When I tell you things, it's not just for you, all of you, it's for all of you coming. It's to explain. Glory. What's glory? It's a flower. Cool flower. Is glory self-praise or something? What do you think? It's good to be happy about something good happening. I guess even celebrate if you want, but to glorify someone is wrong. Isn't that praise? I've never been hesitant to thank anyone, but you're going to find members of my family as well as many other beautiful, wonderful, loving souls in Essence. They have a hard time accepting thank yous from someone else, not because of arrogance or anything like that. It's because they're not about that, and it's kind of weird to feel it. I mean, it feels weird. It's like I don't know what to do with it. I don't do it for the thanks, and it kind of embarrasses me sometimes. I don't know, whatever. Think I don't have my quirks? Think again. All of us go in a body, we go through hell. We're not really ourselves. And again, the topic of the video, I guess after about 2 hours, I ought to get to it, huh? People, I take a long time to get somewhere, but that's because I'm covering a whole lot of ground, okay? It's like if you get this first book, it's not that big, 134 pages or something. They say, I don't know. The printers include all the pages, so when you go to the end of the page, see it says 122 pages, and I think they said it was 134 something. I don't know. I'm not a writer, folks. All the stuff I do, a lot of things I really suck at. So what? I'm doing it because I need to. Anyway, y'all's lives going to be so much better than what they used to be anyway. Things are changing, and that's good. There's no one to thank. There's just to, enjoy them. And know that that's what you should have had in the first place. And know that the original first being male and female, what everyone calls God, was the first one. And it went semi-insane being alone. And that's why it cut itself and it broke itself into two different pieces, separating some of the frequencies, more this, more that, to create company. And that's where male and female came from. Damn it. When I do that, that's my heart screwing up. It's missing a beat. Anyway, oh, and by the way, those of you thinking about the possibility of getting a DNA ICUC from me before this body drops, my energy's through the roof. I've never been this strong. Never been this powerful. My body dying? It's dying. I'm coming out. My energy, my power level is through the roof. Don't expect me to see me move something telekinetically. I'll never allow that. What I am will never allow that to go through this body. I'm not here to put on a show. I'm not here to say, look at me. I'm here to do a job. I'm the janitor. Creation's a mess, and I'm cleaning it up. I don't know who he thinks he is. I know what I am. There are some people that know more about me than I'll ever tell you. And they know they need not to say anything about it. And it's not a bad thing either. It's just, it's not about me. And I almost want to apologize for talking too much about myself this video, but I want you to know. I want you to know how important you are to me. I want you to know why I was here. I don't have much longer. It's months, but I don't have much longer. If all goes well, I'll be out of here before the end of May. I don't know. That field energy, the source field everywhere, it's that part of me that's literally taking this body out when it's time. I told Deanna when she took off for Miami that, well, yeah, I was trying not to say that. Anyway, she needs just to be away from all this for a while. She has it so hard. Anyway, She has such a job. Anyway, I told her that, you need a break, you need to get out of here and have some fun. And just let this spiritual foundation go to sleep for a while. You pick it up when you get home. Consults happen. I'm taking care of that on the phone, talking with y'all. Not the phone, on the email. But I told her, I said I would be experiencing the process of dying while she was gone on and off. They want me nice and calm when it's time to go. Once you've ridden the bike 3-4 times, when you finally do get on it for a longer journey, you're more comfortable about it. So, for some reason, they don't want me coming out mad. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be mad. I'll be happy. Anyway, like with the book, what I was saying before, there's a ton of information, but you can read through this right away. Boom. If you read it that fast, folks, you're not going to get the information that's in here. So you're going to and you're going to know that, man, there's good stuff in there, but then you can't remember stuff. You're going to go back and read it again. There are people that have read it 10 times and more. Okay, that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that, you can have a bunch of information. There's only so much you can handle with your human brain at one time, especially when it's new. Then I went off on other things. The more you understand the little things, the more you come up to understand the big picture, okay? Data, like what you get in your, when you read a book, when you read this, go through the book, you receive data. It's funny, when I take books up, I always grab them, and I go from the back, and I go towards the front. It's natural for me. Why? Because on most planets, the Earth is young. Excuse me, y'all have been around for a real long time. The vast, okay, if it's what I said earlier, you've had maybe 58 to 68, maybe even 86 lives on this planet, but yet all of you have had, the average life is hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions. So you've had a lot of lives, and they haven't been on this planet. You've been in all these other bodies, almost all these other bodies out there. In a bunch of them. That's why I said y'all are so old. I got off topic for a minute. I need to keep going. Anyway, just a second. Okay, we're back again. Okay. I'll focus exactly on the subject matter now and try to streamline this. It's been going on for a while, and I'm still feeling a little rough from yesterday. Anyway, the thing about, the whole thing I'm doing is trying to feed you a little bit of information about a lot of little things, so that you absorb it. It's data, information, data relative to number 8. Like what I was saying, like a book. A book is full of data. And, excuse me. And data is information that's in the brain. Okay, now, the more data you have, turns into understanding through the hypothalamus gland, the heart, and the lower crown, and it's all working together. Okay, I'm just slightly simplifying it, but that's good enough. Okay. So Good enough for you to understand it is what I'm trying to say, to have the information you need. So the more data you have, the more you have to work with. I don't know why it's like I have a fixation on pies. I don't. It's just a simple thought process of putting different things together in a certain way to get something nice. But like baking a pie, a good pie, you have all the ingredients, the way you use them needs to be right. You take the ingredients, the data, you consume it, knowledge. Okay, to take that knowledge, you consume it, it becomes understanding. And when you understand something, that's when that knowledge really belongs to you. And that understanding is power. Now, the more understandings about different things you have, the greater your collection of understandings, which is called wisdom. That's where I was going probably 20 minutes ago, trying to get that out there. So that's why I tend to wander off when I'm talking. I'm trying to give you everything you need to put together your own understanding, because folks, you understand this for yourselves. I've said a lot of times before that I've had people come up to me in the beginning and they said, what you can do is crazy. It's neat. But what church are you attached to? What's your philosophy? What religion is this? And I said, there's no religion. And I said, I help you understand yourself, understand what's going on around you, and then crank you up, make you strong. And then you see things for yourself. You understand things as you do for what you see and understand yourself. Ta-da! And they looked at me. They was talking to a few people. They looked at me, and this girl said, "No one's doing that." I'm like, "Well, yeah, they are now. Because of what I am, what I was made to do, the power level I was given. I was the thing that could come here and knock the crap out of everything else that was trying to bring it from happening. They're gone. Now you have it." Okay, anyway, so who are you then, in a body, out of body? How are you different? This is a big thing with a lot of people. How come I can't remember past lives? Well, because you're so big, the teeny part of you is put into a body. Take a tuning fork. If you ever can, you can try this. Take a tuning fork, smack it softly on something hard, you hear that beautiful sound. It's a nice high pitch, okay? Then you say, okay, I'm used to that. That sounds beautiful. Now you do it again, so you hear it, and then immediately stick it inside a small container of oil. Then you pick it out as it goes. That's what it's like when something that's pure energy, spirit, it's pure energy but sentient. That's what happens when you go in a body. And only this much can literally can fit. The rest is flowing out there, pretty much dormant, asleep. That's why. The more powerful you are, the easier it is to go through it. And these bodies also have energetic blocks put in them. That's why when I do the DNA ICUC, I remove those blocks. So instead of your energy flowing through a garden hose, it's flowing through a fire hydrant. It doesn't have as much pressure, but it flows about 125% of, so like 25% more than what it did. But the main thing is that the flow is unobstructed. I'd like to tell you more about that, but I can't, because then I'll be taking away something from the DNA ICUCs that I do. When I do those, you feel the barriers, like shells inside your aura, the energy that comes off of you, and some of it's spirit. You feel a little shell. It might be up here. You feel it down here. You can feel the bottom. You start to feel it up here, and then you start to feel it, and then you feel it closer down here. You feel it thicker down here. Here's where it starts, and where you feel it the thickest is where it ends. That's the shell itself. The part that's closest to you is you're going to feel the strongest. You get up to here, you start to feel it. You put your hands up here, you have to wait to go up to a new shell if there even is one out there. And as you feel the energy yourself, when I do the DNA ICUC, you find out that you're not wasting your money. You find out something's going on. A lawyer once pointed out, I told a lawyer once, and this is part of a legal document, that no one has ever asked for the money back. And he said, well, you have the website worded where no one can ask for it back. And I said, no. I mean, I didn't say that to him, but I just kind of shrugged it off. But when you use credit cards to take money, the way this happened the first time when I was trying to help out Michelle with Open Awareness, who took the money and tried to take everything else. Insanity. But anyway, the merchants told us, when you do this, you have to word it in some way to protect you from people who just want something and get the money back. Because if you have a problem with that, then the merchants will drop you as far as using credit cards. That's why a lot of these quote-unquote psychics have something in there that says this is for entertainment only. Well, no, I'm not here for entertainment only. I'm here to give you information. I'm valid, I'm real, and I prove it every day. Many times, every day. But what I told them is that no one's asked for the money back. They haven't. If people are spending $900 and $1,200 and they're not happy, do you think they're not going to ask for the money back? The people that come to me have a really good feeling about what I am. I know I'm real. I got no doubt in this whatsoever. 10 years ago, I couldn't feel the energy in a stone. Then the original first being female had my energy suppressed, blocked off like at my ankles. And then she removed it to go to work for them. And then all of a sudden they had their hands full and the war started. So anyway, truth. That's a funny thing, isn't it? In court cases, lots of times they want you to say the truth. Well, if you have any honor, what the hell else would you say? I mean, I understand that because I understand some people. I deal with people. I'm in and out of their heads all day long. The field is part of me. I feel all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I reach out and relax, and I want to be happier for a moment, and unconsciously I just want to feel love. Next thing you know, I got tears pouring down everywhere because I can feel the love that's out there everywhere. It's like, damn. No, I'm not tearing right now. I'm itching. But it's it's a wonderful thing to feel it. But when you can access that kind of power, it's too much for a body to take. Remember, these little gurus probably, a lot of them, I can make your aura extend maybe even 15 feet. You can't even fit in states, or, a lot of you can't even fit in countries. Damn. I keep having issues. Anyway, more excited I get, the more problems I have with the heart thing. This main blood vessel that comes out and goes into the lungs. Doctors, surgeons and stuff, they've actually checked all that out, and they said everything's flowing. It's just, we don't feel the hard thump to thump. And it's, well, no, my heart's huge. Physically, it always was. When it was in excellent condition, it was huge. But now that it's gone, the muscles have become weak. Now it's what they call an enlarged heart. It's even bigger. But the vessels and everything, there's that same problem. Anyway, I'm not trying to talk about myself. I'm trying to explain what's happening when that happens. Um, anyway, um, let me just pick up the car where we're at and put it back on the road. Um, so, like I was talking about with the tuning fork, where you hear that high pitch and put it in the body, it's messed up. That does change. Um, who you are when you're stuck in a body, it lowers your frequencies. So, it does softly suppress your heart. So many people say, when I get out of this body, I'm afraid I won't be able to feel and everything. And I keep telling them, I said, you have no idea how much more you're going to feel when you're yourself. We don't have the same affection that we have while in a body, because we're not tied into those emotions right away. In that base, what people call the base chakra, I call it a base energy focal point. We don't have we're not attached to that so directly. We have that hanging around, but it's soft and it's just kind of put away from the end of our energy. It's something that's subdued. But the love that we have is powerful, beautiful, clean. It's to say it's 100 times, depending on the person, it's 10 to 100 or 10 to 200 times as strong as what's in your body. The less heart energy you have in you, the less you're gonna have. It might only be 10 times more when you're out of a physical body. And if you're listening to me, you're not in that 10. You're not around the 10. You're around the 200, 150 to 200, 100 to 200, whatever. So out of body, that's who you are. The real you. That's why I say don't fear death. When you're getting out of the body, man, all you do is put in that lock, the key into the lock and the doorknob, and you're going home. We go into bodies to get stronger, to learn, to develop. But it's been so abusive. You've been developing abusive frequencies in your bodies. That's another thing I do with the DNA ICUC. I pull those out of you right away. Some people think that they're late. No, you're not. You're right on time because it's happening. There's no such thing as late. The fact is, it's happening. The other side right now that runs our lives, chaos. Think of it as many of us look at World War II, where there was Germany. There was Hitler, not Germany, but Hitler, abusing his own people, and then abusing everything else he could. He was one of those beings that was called the Antichrist, but that's stupid. He was negative. He was source, in the very beginning, the original first being, male and female, put their energies together and released a third of their energy. And then they cleaned 97% of the negativity out of it, the lower frequencies. And the original first being was 27.5% lower frequencies or negative. So when they did that, they needed to create one thing that's huge that would literally protect that. Take that, not protect it from anything else, but to protect them and everything else from this big part of lower frequencies, because it has more power to start with. But all of you have had that's what got Essence so clean. And anyway, that's why they made Lucifer. He was the first angel. He was the first thing they created. The first individual being they created. They made themselves by splitting it. It split itself into two, creating two parts of the one original first being, and then the two of them put their energy together and took out that that third of themselves. Then they took that third and removed the 97% of the 97.1 or 2% other lower frequencies or negativity from it. so everything would be clean. Then made Lucifer to keep an eye on it, keep it away from everything else. And so Hitler was one of those people that some of that original source negativity came from, was in a body. That's almost never allowed to happen. Everything else has had lives. So there's absolutely nothing to fear from it. Is it strong, powerful? Yes. Is there? There's almost none left now. That happened July of 2012. And it attacked Arae. Arae killed almost all of it. But anyway, there's been 4 bodies, not 3, but there's been 4 bodies that have had that in there in this 5th age, which has now become the 6th age. So I'm kind of, the 5th and 6th age we'll put together. The ages on the planet, that's in this book, the book number 2, creation, its beginning, creation, its journey above and into paradise. I am in a process of it's not a total rewrite, but I have to reread the whole thing and get all the spelling errors and stuff out of it. I was, through this body, I was fighting the original first being male and female, and then I was fighting the other big guys and girls, whatever. So it was very hard for me to do this, and then dealing with Michelle and putting over $200,000 in her pocket to take care of animals and stuff, and she took care of herself and her daughter. Whatever. Anyway, so there was Hitler, Napoleon. I usually have this right off the top of my head. I just don't feel good. Hitler, Napoleon, Charles Manson, and a new guy that's roaming around the Middle East. He's the one Sylvia Brown was talking about, but that, you know, she was being controlled by her primary archangel. They were their servants. They were servants to the original first beings. They're almost all gone too. Anyway, so they have lower frequencies, so they don't have the same heart compassion, you know, the same desire to do something good. That people like that, they never get cranked up, but they won't want to get cranked up. They're not into that, and they have their own place where they're kind of where they stay right now. People call it hell, or people made up this hell to religions. People were made to do this. You don't blame them. You don't blame your parents or their parents or their parents. This was orchestrated by the original first being, male and female. It's not your fault. If you know better and you act against that, and you act with no heart energy to abuse someone, you'll be dealt with immediately, soon. Karma's a bitch. So, karma's coming back big time. Just has to get free of the overalls. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little aggressive. The more you understand, the more you'll understand why. Anyway, wait till you start to understand who you really are and what's been done to you. There's no one to attack. There's no one to scream at anymore. They're gone. But the fact that you know is what matters, that you understand who you are, what's happened, how you got to be who you are. Take all that good and keep going. Start developing into the new you, who you really are. Anyway, so when you're in a body, I know I'm jumping back. When you're in a body, your frequencies are lower. Okay, you've been slowed down by physical mass. The original first being was 27.5% lower frequencies because of the amount of heavy particulate matter that got sucked into the 5 different energies that created sentient energy. Again, it's in this book, Creation is Beginning Your Origin. You won't find this stuff, and it sounds like I'm selling a book. Well, I'm telling you what the book is, what it's worth, to you. But that's how the original first being got that much negativity. And that issue with the solid matter, heavy particulate matter, becoming an issue with the new beings, that's been being dealt with. There's one other, the next being to come out really had some issues. And it's not around anymore. So, and the first dimension's locked up. You can't get in or out. Nothing's going to come out of there and attack anything else. But what's in there right now, really cool. I mean, really cool. Anyway, let's get back to you. Not who you're going to meet later. That's why I say, folks, creation is changing. It's growing. We are such a huge family. And it's about to grow exponentially. And the first dimension is where the first new type beings, that's where the actual initial beings they just come to being. And that too would be controlled to slow that down. We're at a turning point right now in creation that only a few people have gotten to the point where they are strong enough to be able to see through these bodies that we're in. Folks, all you strong enough to do this is just doing it through a body. You have no idea how intelligent you are, how powerful you are. But when we're locked up in the physical mass, it's like trying to live a life in the middle of the La Brea tar pits, okay? If you can imagine being able to breathe through that stuff. Anyway, so when you're in a body, jumping back on track again, when you're in a body, your frequencies are dulled down a little bit, okay? That takes away some of your joy, some of your happiness. And plus you're cooped up. And subconsciously, the part of you flowing out of your head that's pretty much asleep, you know this, you're aware of it. But because that part of you is kind of numbed out, it's not too big an issue. If it was, a lot of you be committing suicide to get home. This was all put together by the original first being, male and female. There's a filter that goes around like this. It's like, I've mentioned this in another video, a previous one just a little while ago, a few of them though. It's like a Frisbee that's a little bigger and a little domed out. Like one of those big bowls that you mix stuff in, saute it where you throw it around. It's not like this, it's more like this. So anyway, the filter was made so that the rest of your spirit that's coming out of you, which is the big part of you, take a little teeny thimble, put it on your little finger, okay, and it's much greater ratio than that, how much of you is actually in a body. So put that thimble on an elephant's head, okay? Anyway, so that slows you down. It immediately brings strife into your life. And then the things you're put through in the body, that's abuse. Now you have to have enough joy to keep from going crazy. And so it was important you had that. Now that the original first being, male and female, they ran your lives, and they used their angels that they put on you, not offered you, put on you. They're the ones that take their energy, goes through the upper crown, middle crown, lower crown, and right into the hypothalamus. And that angel goes into your head and says, you have to destroy that door with your head. You will not only go up to the door and bang your head into it, you have to, and you have to do it now. You know it's imperative. It's a life or death thing. And then they pull the energy out, and then you're like, what the? Why the hell? And you start saying, what's the matter with me? No, you would just run. That's not an excuse to do the wrong thing, folks. But isn't the whole point of all this about us being honest with ourselves? This stuff's been done to you. And what does that do when that happens and you're not aware of anything else? It makes you feel you're defective. It makes you feel, oh, there's something wrong with you. No. Jay has a negative attitude. No, I see what is, and what's being done to everyone is negative, and I'm talking about it. I have a very positive attitude, otherwise I couldn't keep going. Fortitude, yeah, I got it. Anyway, so when you're in a body, you're not as happy, you're not as intelligent or anything else. You can actually be run, messed with. Right now, by the way, it's your spirit guides that are trying to run your lives, and they're doing a kick-ass job for what they have to work with. And what's your spirit guide? That's when you're not in a body having a life, you'll be a spirit guide for someone else that you care about. Sometimes you don't care about them, you just do it because you want to help. It used to be everybody was forced into it. Everything's changing. But anyway, so that's another difference about being in a body. Jay, you know, I've done things in this life that I'm not proud of and everything. Hey man, so have I. Before I woke up, I've had things done to me. I've done things and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And over time, it's just one time I saw it. I saw the original first being female in my head pushing buttons because all of a sudden, when you start waking up, from time to time, as your brain starts working properly, you're going to get that brain worked on and make it stronger, and your abilities get stronger, and you start having emotional changes all over the place. You'll be mad one minute, then sad, then you feel love everywhere, and then you have anger, crying, all kinds of stuff comes out of nowhere, and sometimes you go through 2-3 cycles. That's when your brain gets worked on and it actually grows in size and starts changing. It has to be adjusted. So this has to happen, and all this can't happen while you're asleep because it needs to be alive and cooking. So you'll feel it from time to time. Don't worry about it. I looked in there and saw the original female. The way I saw it in my head, it's like she was pushing buttons. She was an energy field, okay, spirit, sentient energy, and she was just moving energy throughout different parts of my brain. But the way I saw it in my head was that it was a person, a physical, the image of a physical person pushing, like, and I saw the inside of my brain like a soft wall, and there were buttons coming out, and she was pushing my buttons. Okay, so that's how my conscious mind was able to perceive what was actually being done. This is an important thing for me to bring up. This is a form of telepathy, a form of understanding. This is how things work in the head. Anyway, so when you're in a physical body, it slows you down. You can't feel things as much. You can't access your intelligence. You can't access your memories of different lives and stuff. All you can deal with is what's right in front of you. Again, better than a half-decent analogy is being in the La Brea tar pits. You can't see in front of you or behind. It's hell for you to see anything. You can see what's right in front of your face until you learn to relax, calm down, and I've already put out a video about flowing into the source field. You flow into the field. It's there to serve you. To serve. There's no thanks. There's no nothing. It's just community. It's there to serve and protect. So just go into the field, relax, and you can see and learn stuff. But you'll never be able to access who you really are and everything until you are yourself and you get out of that damn body. And please don't hurt yourself and try to get out of your body right now, because things are getting better and better. There's never been a better time to be in a body. It's about to happen. But in the meantime, it's important for those of us who care about these things to become ourselves. You do whatever you want. Isn't that the whole idea? Finally, talk about free will. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, everyone is about to have exactly that. Complete free will. And if something messes with that from the other side, their ass is getting kicked. They're going to be dealt with. And if that becomes a habit with them, they're gone. Here's an analogy for you. You have to cut out what's wrong and get rid of it. When I was in the military, when I was a kid, I did some cliff diving, Canyon Lake, Texas, and I dove off of a cliff. It's about 50 foot. You have to go over a tree on the way down, and then you land in the water. Well, I did that, and I was doing a bunch of diving, but anyway, I did this at this new place I found. But there was a cliff I couldn't see that was just barely under the water. Anytime you go 35, 50 foot on a dive, you're hitting that water pretty hard. And I bounced my left iliac crest off of a cliff that was sticking out. I couldn't see it until I was in the air. And I looked at where my trajectory and everything else, and I said, I'm going to hit it. I'm literally going to hit this thing. I know. I'd been diving for a long time. So I thought, okay, I'll put my arms out in front of me like this, and I'll break this forearm and that forearm, but I should be able to use that to get my spine out of the way so that I can still get to the surface and keep going. That's in the military when this happened. Fort Sam, Houston. I think now it's just called BAMC, Brooke Army Medical Center. I don't know. Anyway, so this is 1984, I believe. So I was in the air just starting my descent, and all of a sudden something felt like 4 or 5 big, huge fingers, but it felt like feathers. All of a sudden took me and pushed me outward. It pushed me outward like this, and my whole body moved forward. I was already going down like this. I was on the descent, and all of a sudden I started going like this, pushing, getting farther out. My left iliac crest did hit the edge of the cliff, but I didn't hit it like I should have. And I felt that this other thing hit my back. It was my primary original angel. It's one of the original angels, the primary one, the strongest one that was put on me to push me out of the way to make sure I didn't die. Angels would save you if you need to be saved, but if they were told it's time for that person to die, the original female did that. She said, time for them to come out of the body. The angel kill you, so you come out. It doesn't make angels good or bad. They were servants doing their job, and a lot of them really cool. I love and protect everything equally. That's how I feel. That's how I understand. That's how I am. That is what I am. However, Archangel Michael is really close to me. All the other big ones, except for pieces of what people call Satan, who's really Lucifer, your first protector. Those are the only 2 large ones that are left. And Lucifer knew that there was problems with the original first being, or beings, if you think of them after they separated the male and female. And Archangel Michael was made to protect. So he did. What happens when you protect something? When you're given the fortitude to be able to do it, and the knowledge that that's your job, what do you learn when you become a protector? You learn that you must protect everything equally. Okay, because you have to protect everything. So you protect everything. Wherever you need to put more protection, you go there. For me, it's been animals. Why? Because they've been more abused than anything else. And now that's been handled. Animals' bodies aren't gone yet, but animal essence is out of almost all the animal bodies. 3 to 4, there's like 3 point something percent of, no, it's not percent, depending on which million you're talking about, every time a million animals are born, between either 3 or 4 of them, on average, are actually animal essence. The rest of them are human, fey, and feminine souls in essence. And they're having a chance to understand what was going on being an animal. And then I'll be out of here when I go. Then I'm taking the animals away. It'll be a large hit, and then it'll be a little more. So there's other ways to maintain these physical bodies without them. That's enough of abuse. Abuse is leaving. So anyway, it's kind of sad. Give me 1 second here. And back again. So when you have to protect something, you literally put out an understanding of everything's equal. You must protect everything. Everything's equal, and over time, what you protect, the frequencies, whatever frequencies of compassion they have, or love, and honor, they extend that towards you, because they begin to understand that you're taking care of them. You're protecting them, and they'll thank you for it if they have any heart. Thank, not praise. Big difference. And then because you protect them, and you start to care about them, you have an imperative. You have a new imperative, whatever. The most important thing for you, if you're made to be this, if you were made to be this, the most important thing to you is to protect it. They come first. You come last, after everything else. Because that's what you want to do, because that's what you were made to do. That makes you selfless. But you build a compassion for those you care about. Don't go there. Little part of Lily messing with me, trying to get me to show compassion when I say that. It's like, I don't need any help, I got it. I don't need teary eyes. Anyway, so it's a natural thing. It's a beautiful thing for me. Anyway, so you are incredible beings, very high frequency. You will ascend when its time is called death. Not being abusive, allowing your heart energy to flow. That's how you have a life that's cleaner, more positive. This law of attraction crap is insanity. There's no such thing. If that were real, you would never grow while you're in a body. There'd never be a reason to be in a body. Other than what? Have a happier time? No. Being in a body, having a life, is like going to school, going to work. You learn, you get stronger. You evolve as spirit, sentient energy. It was set up for there to be 3 stages of evolution for the souls. There's only 3. Again, I believe that's book 1. Get that in a frame there somewhere. I'll put a picture of it at the beginning of the video, or end or something. So anyway, when you're in the body, you also run to do the wrong things from time to time. You're guided, and that stopped. But now you're still guided to, and almost all the spirit, almost every single spirit guide working on you is doing everything they can to help, and they're good people. So they're people like you when you're not in a body having a life. So, but people want to know, Jay, when I'm out of a body, it's more like when I'm having all these lives, I'm always basically the same person. Yes, basically. But the one thing I haven't said yet is that You're going to have lives in different bodies that are made to reflect different abilities, different power centers in your body. There's 3 different power centers in your body, okay? Your core, I call it the core spirit orientation. For the body you're in, where your energy is expressed the strongest. There's the pineal. It's the brain, but it's the pineal where you see multidimensionally, okay? Then there's the heart, where you're really strong in the heart. And then the heart, the way it works, and I've done videos on this, just, go J Essex and then heart or something. And you all know how to do this stuff better than me. That's funny. There's a spider over there running around. Hanging out, I should say. Anyway, just came out of nowhere. It's like, hurry up, you got stuff to do. And then there's a solar plexus, trusting your gut feeling. I had one life as a mathematician, very good, a very strong life as far as I was Pythagoras. And one thing people don't know about me is that I used to love to design mortar, to make my own bricks and blocks, to build things. It was my hobby. But understanding solid matter and how to make it, the block, stronger, last longer, that was a big thing with me. But anyway, the reason why I brought that up is I was solar plexus that life. This life I'm pineal. It's important that I be able to see things as best as possible, multidimensionally, so I can help express that. I was supposed to be talking about praise Mother, Father, God, look how cool they are, but instead I'm saying, hey, don't praise nothing and look how cool you are. Anyway, so the body you're in has an effect on which of your abilities is going to be stronger. I had this one woman who was, she's source, and she thought that I was a fraud when I was talking with her. She never paid for a consult. We were just, talking about things. It was important I meet her and talk to her. But she was upset that she said, I want my pineal to be stronger. I'm very strong in my solar plexus, but I want to be stronger in pineal. I said, I can crank you up and make you stronger, but I can't go into your pineal and make it stronger than your solar plexus. To do that, I'd have to change your body. And I said, that ain't happening in a body or not. I mean, whether or not I can do it, ain't happening. That's changing who you are. That's insane. So she goes, oh, well, she's arrogant as hell. She's like, well, if you can't do that, you're not real. That's her attitude in her head. She never said it, but I'm like, she thought she was nice not to say it, like I didn't know. Give me 1 second again. Okay, well, damn. Excuse me. So anyway, that's a lot of information, but that's what it's like when your true self, sentient spirit, sentient energy, and you can feel so much, do so much. I mean, you're incredible. Not that you're not incredible in a body, but you're not who you really are until you're out of a body. That's the only ascension there really is. That'll annoy some people, but it's simply the truth. Ascension is when you get out of your body. Now, trying to access who you really are inside, that's really cool. It's just trying to be your true self while you're still stuck in a body that's physical mass. Even though it's soft, it's physical mass, and it slows down your vibrations, like the tuning fork thing we were talking about. The way your body is made, and then your spirit's put in it, is going to have a big effect on whether you're more solar plexus, heart, or pineal orientated. Now, as spirit, your true self, you are a little more of this or a little more of that. That's natural. And that's going to be relevant all through your lives. But you're, still, different lives, you're going to be a little stronger in one area than the other because of the body you put in, because of the body that you're put in. Okay, so, and that's, I could talk for hours on that, explaining it, and we don't want to go there. This has been long enough. I'm not trying to put anyone to sleep, but if you want some information, folks, take your time going, watching the videos. There's a lot of information in there that I just gave you. It's like I said in my last life. I said, be the change you want to see in the world. It's kind of like what I'm saying in this life is just be you. I just want to help you understand who you are. I want to help you access your abilities, and I want to make you stronger. When I do these DNA ICUCs, folks, I'm putting source, the most powerful source spirit there is, source energy, excuse me, not spirit, the most powerful source energy there is anywhere, into you, and part of that's bonding with you forever. It changes what you are for the positive. Some people say, oh, this guy's a nut. They're fine. They don't understand. Love him anyway. It's not their fault they don't understand. It's not your fault that you didn't understand. It's not my fault that I didn't understand before I did. You want to talk about growth? Becoming who you really are so you can understand. You want to talk about power to give your children, the others you love? That wisdom and your love is the best thing you can give anything, anyone, at any time. So, folks, I love you. It is a lot of information. It'll answer a lot of questions that some people have. Remember, this isn't just about now. This is about the next 100 years. This information will be around for a very long time. There will be people that watch this video 100 years from now and say, who the hell was that old fart in overalls? And it won't matter. People won't really know. What I can do, what I've already proven I can do, when it's not on a major channel somewhere, well, of course it wants to be, there's those that have always wanted to suppress it, but it's being kept that way. It'll stay that way until I'm out of here, and then the other folks that can do this will be doing it. So, hold on, folks, because here it comes, the rest of your life, and it's going to be a ride like you've never had in any body, in any life. I love y'all, man. Have a good one.